If you're tired, frustrated, and thinking about giving up, this message is for you. There are moments in life when everything seems to conspire against us. Moments when we look ahead and see no way out. Moments when the urge to give up becomes almost irresistible, like a constant whisper saying, "Stop, you won't make it." It's better to give up now before the pain gets worse. Today's reflection is about something fundamental for anyone who wants to live a life with purpose, meaning, and growth: the importance of persistence. To persist, not to give up, to stay focused, especially in difficult times when frustrations appear and seem to overwhelm us completely. Because the truth is that all of us, without exception, face frustrations. We all go through moments when things don't go as planned, when efforts seem to yield no results, when the path proves to be much more arduous than we imagined. And when faced with frustration, life always presents us with two basic, fundamental choices: to give up or to persevere. Giving up is easy, it's tempting. It's the option that offers immediate relief, even if that relief is only illusory. Giving up is stopping the fight, stopping the attempt, stopping believing that it's possible. Persistence, on the other hand, is difficult. It requires strength, it requires courage, it requires faith. To persist is to choose to continue even when everything inside you screams to stop. It is to take one more step even when your legs tremble with exhaustion. It is to believe even when external evidence seems to tell you that you should give up. Between these two choices, giving up or persisting, lies a fundamental bridge. A bridge that determines which choice you will make most of the time, and that bridge is called conscience. The greater your level of awareness of who you are, of your true purpose, of the profound meaning of your existence, the greater your ability to persist in what truly matters. Because when you are aware, when you know why you are doing it, when you understand the value and meaning of your journey, difficulties still exist, but they don't bring you down. They may make you stumble, they may make you slow down, but they don't make you give up. On the other hand, the less self-aware you are, the more you live on autopilot without understanding who you are and where you're going, the more easily any difficulty can bring you down. Any obstacle becomes an insurmountable mountain. Any frustration becomes reason enough to abandon everything. And here is a truth that needs to be stated clearly, with compassion, but also firmly. Problems are part of the human experience. They always have been, they always will be. Everyone faces challenges, everyone encounters difficulties. Rich and poor, young and old, healthy and sick. Everyone, without exception, has their own battles to fight. Expecting a life without difficulties is an illusion. It's a fantasy that, when confronted with reality, only generates disappointment and bitterness. The question isn't whether you'll face problems, you will. The question is, how will you deal with them? What differentiates people is not the absence of problems in their lives, but rather their ability to deal with the problems that arise and keep moving forward despite them. And if you look at the history of humanity itself, you will realize that despite all the problems, there is constant evolution happening. Spiritual evolution, social evolution, scientific evolution, human evolution. And this only happens because there is persistence. Persistence of people who haven't given up on dreaming of a better world. Persistence of people who haven't given up on fighting for what they believed in. Persistence of people who, even in the face of the greatest adversity, chose to continue. Because nothing of value is built without persistence. Nothing. A happy marriage doesn't happen without the persistence to continue loving even in difficult times. To continue dialoguing even when communication seems impossible. To continue choosing the other even when imperfections become evident. A successful career doesn't happen without the persistence to keep learning, to keep improving, to keep working even when results take time to appear. Balanced health doesn't happen without the persistence of caring for your body day after day, making healthy choices even when temptation is strong, and maintaining habits that strengthen you even when it's easier to put them off. And profound spiritual growth definitely doesn't happen without persistence. Without the persistence of daily prayer, uplifting reading, constant reflection, and the sincere pursuit of becoming a better person. Persistence is essential to overcome bad habits. Those habits that we know are harmful, but seem to have such deep roots in our lives. Addictions, compulsions, destructive behavior patterns, all of them can only be overcome with persistence. Persistence is essential for improving health, for those battling a chronic illness, for those needing to completely change their lifestyle, for those undergoing treatment and going through difficult times. Persistence is what keeps hope alive and the body fighting. Persistence is essential to dealing with negative thoughts, with that inner voice that criticizes you, that belittles you, that makes you doubt yourself. Silencing that voice, replacing it with thoughts of love and compassion, is a daily task that requires constant persistence. Persistence is essential to overcome moments of profound sadness, of grief, of loss, of despair. Moments when it seems the darkness will never end, but it does, and it passes more quickly for those who persist in seeking the light. Persistence is essential for seeking self-knowledge. to look inward, to confront your shadows, to acknowledge your flaws and work on them. It's a long, sometimes painful, but absolutely necessary path. And here, it's important to make a point. In many cases, help is needed. Medical treatment, therapy, professional guidance, and support from loved ones are necessary. But personal effort is also necessary. One task doesn't exclude the other. You can and should seek help when you need it, but you also need to do your part. You need to persevere. You need to be committed to your own transformation. To persevere is also to care for the body God gave you, to care for the emotions you feel, to care for the children who came through you, to care for the relationships that sustain you, to care for the people you love even when it's difficult, even when it requires sacrifice, even when you are tired. Because here's something wonderful. With time, people mature, they evolve, they transform. That rebellious child of today could be the responsible adult of tomorrow. That difficult relationship now could transform into a deep partnership over the years. That challenge that seems impossible today could be the story of overcoming adversity that you will proudly tell in the future. No one is the same person today as they were 5, 10, or 20 years ago. We all change. We all evolve. At least we have the opportunity to evolve. And those who stay on the right path, those who persevere in what has value, give life the chance to bear fruit that only time reveals. Fruit you can't even imagine exists, but which will appear at the right moment, surprising you with their beauty and fullness. Many achievements we admire only exist because someone didn't give up when everything seemed too difficult. That musician you admire rehearsed thousands of hours when no one believed in him. That entrepreneur you respect went bankrupt several times before finally succeeding. That spiritual leader who inspires you went through profound crises of faith before finding his light. The temptation to give up in the face of frustration is great. It's human, it's understandable, but without faith, without moral strength, without spiritual fortification, one risks abandoning valuable experiences before they can flourish. It's like pulling a seed out of the ground because it didn't germinate when you expected. The seed was there, growing invisibly beneath the earth, but you lacked patience. You lacked persistence, and you pulled it out just when it was about to sprout. But it's crucial to understand, persistence is not stubbornness. It's not about blindly insisting on what makes no sense, what is clearly wrong, what harms you. To persist in an abusive relationship is not a virtue. To persist on a path that clearly isn't yours is not wisdom. To persist in destructive habits is not faith. True persistence, the kind that has spiritual value, is that which remains steadfast in what has purpose, value, and meaning. In what makes you grow, even if it hurts. In what brings you closer to God, even if it's difficult. In what makes you a better person, even if it requires sacrifice. And to know the difference between wise persistence and blind stubbornness, wisdom is necessary. Discernment is necessary. Prayer, reflection, and sometimes the help of wise people who can guide you are needed. Persisting in what makes sense is one of the greatest acts of spiritual and human maturity. Did you like the message? Then like, share, and subscribe to the Messages from the Soul channel. Your participation helps bring hope and light to more people. May God give you strength to persevere. May He give you wisdom to discern where it is worthwhile to persist. And may He sustain you with His presence in the moments when everything seems too difficult. You are stronger than you imagine. And with God by your side, you can persevere and win.